Hi guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel, Flavored Vivid. My name is Carissa. Most of you guys know me as the girl that does tarot. However, I don't just do tarot. I do a lot of teaching as well. I work with a lot of one-on-one clients, things of that sort here. Anyways, today I really wanted to put out a video with so much ascension going on and going around. I really wanted to put out a video of the illusion of self here, which in Sanskrit terms is called Maya. It's the Maya self. It's your ego construct that desires more peace, more enlightenment. It desires to attain and add more, and it only feeds your ego self here. Okay, it's the self before samadhi. Okay, samadhi, samadhi, samadhi. Okay, thank you. This video should help a lot of people get through ascension and just kind of like understand the process more, because as our Maya selves, these elusive versions of us that we adhere to, it's this energy of, we always try to understand things, and the more that we try to understand it, the more we try to control it. So in this video, I do want to teach kind of, but not really. I just want you to listen and really take what you can from this video, and hopefully it'll help you guys with your ascension and with your path. Okay, the ego construct is an impulse to repeat cycles and lessons in this spiral matrix of conditioning. So the spiral, right? That is a very symbolic sign here of this inward journey, and how everything is a spiral essentially, and it's about the spiraled inwards. I'm going to use this a few different times, but I like to think of it or look at it as like the eye of a storm. Okay, so when you look at a storm on a weather map here, you see the big cloud here. That's all the chaos, that's the illusion. And then the center of the storm, there's peace, harmony, alignment, and that's your 0 point vortex. That's your 0 point of energy, and that's what samadhi is. Okay, it's that 0 point of energy here. So as humans, we have this endless grasping of pleasure that is supplemented by pain, and so it's like the more that we try to attain, the more that we try to grasp onto, the more stimulation, the more lights, the more money, the more greed, the more this, the newest phone, the newest this, the hottest bitch, the biggest ass, the best body, things of that sort. It's this energy of, those are just auto responses that are directed by our subconscious, by these old neuro patterns and pathways within our mind. If you want to learn more about neuro patterns and reprogramming your subconscious, I do have videos on my Facebook. However, I follow Dr. Joe Dispenza's work very, very closely. He is a neurologist, so he studies this stuff. He goes on tour. He's a really great guy, very, very educational. But anyways, we are all born into this world with biological conditioned structures. Okay, we grow into a mask of what we call consciousness, and we wear this mask around, and we identify with this mask, and this mask becomes us. It's who we portray ourselves to be. It's who we think we are, because we feel the need to identify as something of substance. Okay, and so we grow into this mask. We identify as the mask or character we portray we are, which is considered Maya. Okay, that is Maya. That is the illusion of thyself. It's not real, and it's not anything to identify with. It's what, during awakening, the process is to actually break free of this disillusionment and dismantle this mask that you hide behind. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I put story of Plato. Okay, so you guys have heard me talk about this before in different readings. Some of you might not have. However, I love this story of Plato. Okay, so if you guys don't know Plato's story, Plato, Socrates, right? There's the story of the people in the cave. Okay, so there are these prisoners that they kept in a cave here, and these prisoners never saw the light of day. They never came out of the cave. Some of them grew up in the cave, right? They were a prisoner of this cave. And so they only went off of, the shadows that they saw on the wall. So when others would come in and tell them like, hey, this isn't even what the world is about, this isn't even what this is, that's all an illusion, they didn't want to believe it because they became comfortable. Now I want you guys to think of this cave as your mind. Your mind is this prison, essentially. Okay? It's a great tool. However, when you're living behind a mask, your mind doesn't know if you're in a prison or if you're not in a prison. And it just it goes off of what it knows and what's logical. And that's how your mind really works here, okay? So let's see. The mind is the prison, the cave of illusion. Yeah, that's what I wrote. Samadhi, though, is awakening from the prison, okay? The key is to not identify with an identity that you play within this matrix. Don't identify with your material self. Samadhi doesn't create any sort of resistance to anything. And this is going to make more sense as we go along, okay? I promise you guys. Maya creates the suffering self. That's why there's depression, anxiety. That's why you are, chasing after what you feel is going to make you happy, and it's just not true. Like, that's not actual happiness. You're not attaining anything. You're just going after what, commercials have said and what the government says and what this person says and what this book says. This is how you make you happy. Like, none of it's true. It's all false. It's all a sell. It's all powered behind greed, okay? Which has really kept a lot of people stuck in this prison. The immanent self, which is your true self, the immanent self, your true self, is absolutely timeless. There are no restrictions. There are no limitations. And you're naturally aligned with abundance and peace and harmony and things of that sort. A love, unconditional love. But the inner wiring is ever evolving, okay? And so when you are repeating cycles with this old subconscious programming, your wiring is pretty much, it's crossed, okay? It's all tangled and crossed, and it looks like a hot mess. Most of us, if you look at, the wiring system on like your entertainment center, let's just say your TV and that sort, you like to hide the wiring as much as possible because it just doesn't look good, right? So imagine if that wiring within your mind stood outside of your head. It wouldn't look good, and you would feel subconscious about it. You would definitely recognize it a lot more. So just pretend like these subconscious programs, this wiring here is outside of your head. Hi, thank you for being with us today. Me. I don't know why I always do that. Let's see. To realize the immanent self is to become emptiness of all things. That is that 0 point field of energy, okay? And dance with the movement of oneness, which I bring up a lot of quotes and stuff, and we'll get there. We're just at the beginning. I wrote up like 6 pages for you guys. So, but we're going through it pretty quickly. I already got through a whole page. So, it's this energy the mind does not understand because it is duality. It's these things for good, for bad. What's going to bring me pleasure? What's going to bring me pain? And that's not true. Everything has pleasure and pain within it. It's about accepting both sides of reality here. Now, the whole thing in regards to awakening and wanting to attain samadhi versus living as your Maya self is the fact that we are here to bring forth brand new constructs and break free of these societal structures here of others telling us who we are meant to be, what we are meant to be doing, things of that sort, okay? Everything can be called into doubt. Your own senses, your own emotions, your thoughts, the actions, things of that sort. Everything can be doubted. You can literally pull a negative from every single positive thing in your life, and then from every single negative thing in your life, you can pull a positive from it. That's duality. And being in duality is your Maya self. That is the illusion of yourself because you're choosing to identify with things, okay? People always want to blame something or someone for their own unhappiness, and you just can't do that. Descartes talked about a demon. So if you look at Descartes' work, if you know me, and you can even go look on my Instagram, I think I posted his book like 2 years ago here. I do a lot of reading, you guys. I'm like super nerd here. But anyways, Descartes talks about Descartes, whatever. Why am I saying Descartes? Descartes here talks about this demon, right? When he was writing his book and sharing his theologies here, he talks about this demon. What we don't realize is the demon is actually our own mind. Now he got really stuck here in this like energy of it's all a thought process, things of that sort, positive, negative energies. Whereas Buddha actually went deeper. And that's what we are all required to do during this awakening process is go deeper, okay? That demon is your mind, and it's an endless need for stimulus satisfaction. It's like a drug addict craving the next fix, and your mind will always want that next fix. It's always going to want this next fix, okay? You know that you're asleep in the matrix when you still don't know your true nature and what your soul wants to express. So that's why it's always funny to me when people tell me like, or have like woke as fuck in their profile, and I'm like, you ain't shit. No, you're not. You're masked. Your ego tells you that you are. And then when you guys, and I love you guys, I really do. But when you guys tell me I'm enlightened, I'm not enlightened at all. That would mean that I would have to be in a state of samadhi 24/7, and I'm just not. I mean, not even Buddha attained that, okay? Because there's nothing to attain. And the more that you're searching for, the further away you get from it, things of that sort. And when you're asleep, you're awake. I mean, like everything is this mind fucks you, okay? So your mind, your human mind will never be able to actually fully comprehend it. It's kind of interesting here, but I'm definitely not enlightened. I have a lot of enlightened activity, and I definitely trust my intuition, and I do a lot of meditation and, divination, things of that sort. But I'm definitely not enlightened. So I love you guys, but that's why when I say I'm not enlightened and I kind of respond to you guys' answers, I don't mean it in a negative way at all, or in a I'm trying to be super humble. No, it's none of that sort. It's this, that energy of I'm not, and that would be like saying that I'm better than Buddha here. And a lot of my learnings are from Buddhists and Descartes and Plato and the ancient texts, okay? Because those ancient texts are what we are actually meant to restore in the now. And a lot of, people are like, religion's this, religion's that. Yeah, true. But a lot of what religion took from were these ancient texts, these ancient Sanskrits. They just kind of got manipulated into controlling, and people took what they wanted from it here, okay? So let's see, what did I put? Your mind manipulates, and it does. Oh goodness, it does. Do you ever have like a really good day, and then somebody says something to you, and instantly it changes and manipulates your whole mood? It because you were looking for something to stimulate you, and it brought you down to a lower vibration. And so it's like it didn't feed that expectation. It didn't feed your ego. So instead, it gave you a different neurological response, which was, like this fight or flight type of response here. So let's see. Where am I? Okay, so your mind manipulates like a cat looking in the mirror and seeing a lion. Okay, you see what you choose to see. So, that meme that goes around, and that's why I use that example here, because there's always that cat that's looking in the mirror and it sees a lion. There's a lion on the other side of that mirror, in the reflection here. The world is always going to reflect back to you what you are thinking. And it's really important to understand that. I say that all the time. Your inner reality will always manifest externally, right? And be mirrored back to you. I don't say that lightly or to sound cool or knowledgeable. I say that because it's the truth. And so let go of these endless pursuits. So we're going to go back into Greek mythology now, and I'm going to teach you what an endless pursuit really is. So in Greek mythology, you have Sisyphus. Okay, Sisyphus is the god that he had to push a big boulder for the time of eternity up a hill. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm well aware of Joseph Campbell. I taught about him probably about 2 years ago here. This is just the route that I've decided to start taking for my educational videos I'm going to be posting on my YouTube account. So I'm going to try to incorporate at least one video weekly for, educational purposes. But we'll see how things go. I mean, no promises. I don't hold expectations for myself, so just don't hold any for me, okay, guys? But let's see here. I was on, he had to endlessly push a boulder up a mountain for eternity, okay? And what that means is like, don't toil endlessly building a tomorrow that is the same as today. Do not do the same things over and over and over again in these insanity loops, expecting to have a different outcome. It's like Sisyphus, and you guys are embodying his energy. And he had to do this for eternity. Do you want to go out on eternity doing this? Now, I want to stop right here real quick and talk, because a lot of people, you'll see a lot of people bragging about how many lifetimes they've had here on Gaia, and that's nothing to brag about. That's actually like, you're like, yeah, good for you. Because you don't want to have 1,000 different lifetimes. Okay, the higher the number of lifetimes here on Gaia, the worse it is. It's because you didn't learn fucking karmic lessons that you were meant to learn. Your soul never got to this samadhi state. Your soul never was able to expand and truly express itself. You got caught up in the matrix. You got caught up in the Maya self. And so you had to repeat lifetimes. You had to, reincarnate a lot more. And so when you hear me say you are multidimensional beings, for me personally, I am Pleiadian. And I know that I'm directly from Pleiades. I'm going to make a video, maybe I'll do it later today, and I'll explain to you guys what my childhood was like, who I am, how I came into my gifts and things of that sort. But I don't want to go into that all now, because I just want to keep it on this video here. But, I have been incarnated in multiple planes of reality. And right now, technically, I'm still in Pleiades. Okay, this is just my mirrored self here on the physical, here in Gaia, here in the 3D. Now, for those of you guys that are unaware, the Pleiadians are the gatekeepers of the 5D. Okay, now we're from 9D, however, we gatekeep the heart chakra. And we'll go into that another video here. I'll do like a video on extraterrestrials and how we are assisting, but just know that the Pleiadians have been assisting this planet for centuries. Okay, centuries. That's why you hear about them with the Egyptians. That's why you hear about them with Lemuria. That's why you hear about them with Atlantis, things of that sort, because they were always involved. Okay, but I'll make another video on that, because I don't want to go too off here. So in regards to Sisyphus, you don't want to continue pushing this boulder up a hill every single day. You're eventually going to go mad, and that's what causes your depression. That's what causes your anxiety, things of that sort. So there's a quote here, and it says, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. It bothered the fuck out of me. I never knew what the fuck that meant. I was like, what the fuck do you mean? That's insane. Like, why would you do that? But what changed here? Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. What's the difference? What changed? Your inner resistance. Your inner resistance to trying to understand and manipulate things and control things and always take on free will, okay? It's your own individual will to look at things from a different perspective. Now, samadhi is dropping off all inner resistance so that your freedom is not contingent on the outer circumstances. Hi, babe. Thank you. Sorry, no golf Barbie today here. We're a little more. You guys, I'm really weird. I wear a lot of fishnets and leg strappy things. I don't know, whatever it's called. But yeah, I have so many versions of myself here, and I'm meant to explore all of them. So I just share them all freely. But anyways, when we are free to act without being driven by unconscious motives, then it is possible to act in enlightenment with our own inner energy. Fighting for peace is like shouting for silence. Every war is self-imposed by collective disillusionment. Okay, so let me say that again. Fighting for peace is like shouting for silence. So the more that you're fighting for this inner peace, the more that you're trying to control how you find your inner peace, the more you're going to be at war with yourself, because you're never going to find it. All right. Let's see. It's self-destructive habitual behavior that condones our egoic behavior. Our egoic mind is the Maya self. It's the illusion of ourself. Our ego tells us we need to physically understand everything. We can't just trust our gut. We can't just trust our intuition. We can't just meditate on the answers and allow things to silently process. We can't just go with the flow. That's not how things work, but it is how things work, okay? Your mind is where the revolution must first take place. So if you know me, you know that I've been preaching for about 2 years. I share so many videos on my Facebook about it. Reprogramming your subconscious mind. That is where it starts first, because you're running on old subconscious programs, okay? It's kind of like walking around with a fucking Walkman when we have Apple Music on our iPhones. Nobody uses Walkmans anymore, all right? You're an iPhone 11 now. You are an upgraded version of yourself, okay? You acknowledge some great power here, but you don't have the wisdom to use it because your rationalism has robbed you of the ability to feel the sacredness of life. Your rationalism has told you, I can't walk around barefoot. That's gross. That's dirty. That's this. That's that. Your rationalism has told you, oh, I have so much knowledge. I read so many books. I'm so smart. I'm so fucking enlightened. Like, fuck yeah, bro. We're enlightened as fuck. No, it's not true, you know? Not true at all here. So, Thoth's wisdom. Now we're taking it back to the Egyptian times, because if any of you guys know me, you guys know that that's my one reincarnation here that I highly remember. I feel like that was my past life here on Gaia, was, you know, from the Egyptian times. But anyways, Thoth's wisdom is within us all. What is Thoth's wisdom? It's the key. It's the key to the gateway, to the gateless gate, okay? It's the key to the gateless gate of ascension. And what we need to attain this, or what we need to ascend, we're going to use the word ascend because we don't attain it, we ascend to it, samadhi, which is to ascend to our higher selves, okay? And really become in a divine connection with source consciousness. Now, Thoth's wisdom, the story goes that it was embedded in each of us, okay? So he hid it all over in our DNA. And where is that DNA hidden? In your spine, all right? What else is hidden in your spine? It's guarded by these 2 golden serpents, which are what? It's your kundalini. Okay, so it's really interesting. Sorry, I get so passionate and excited when I talk about this stuff. But a lot of people don't understand Kundalini. They don't understand the chakras. They don't understand any of it. And where it came from. It's important to know where it came from. And it came from Thoth's Sanskrits. Okay, that's where your chakras and your Kundalini energy comes from. Now, that serpent is called Kundalini. Okay, it's a golden serpent. This golden serpent is bound to the inner construct. This golden serpent is the inner construct bound in the inner energies. It needs to be unlocked, hence awakening. All right, so we got to unlock our chakras and our Kundalini energy, and that's what awakening is. Now, let's talk about this. It needs to be unlocked, right? It needs to be mastered, and it needs to be overcome in order to ascend to true inner wisdom here. We experience what we call suffering or dark night of the soul because we try to control it. Because our minds, that prison, that cave that we're stuck in, it tries to control it. It tries to understand it a lot more. It tries to attain power and knowledge over it. There's nothing more powerful than your higher self. All right, there's nothing more powerful than that. Because we want to understand it. It's funny. I'm going to show you guys what an incredible artist I am here. I drew a snake eating its own tail. That's a snake. Don't judge me, okay? I'm an artist. I'm incredible at what I do. So, all jokes aside here, the snake eating its own tail. Have you guys seen that symbol? It's because it's like a foot and mouth thing, all right? So the more that you try to control things, the more and more that you just loop around in this circle, okay? So the guardian of the gate will test you. That's why we experience this dark night of the soul and this suffering or this spiritual depression, right? Because it's testing you by making you face your darkest fears. It's testing your faith in the dismantling of Maya. And what is Maya? Maya is the illusion self. So your Kundalini awakening is your war against you. Are you really going to shout for silence? Ask yourself that. How have you been shouting for silence during your awakening? How have you been trying to control things? Kundalini is the liberation of yourself, okay? Thinking is a wonderful tool when it's in service to the heart. However, the mind is a great servant, but a poor master. You guys know that quote? The mind is a great servant, but a poor master. Why is that? Because when the mind and your senses are your master, it'll create endless aversions and suffering. So the awakening is asking you to drop all of your labels and see things as they truly are. And if you believe that you're already awake, then why are you doing the difficult work to attain what you already have? Ask yourself that. If you are already awake, why are you doing the difficult work that you already have within you? And that's the thing, is it's not difficult. Our minds, our imprisonment here makes it difficult. It makes us struggle. It makes us work harder. It makes us suffer. It makes us see things that are not real. Because we like to complicate everything. We like to complicate everything. We like to be like, oh no, it's not that easy. And the motherfucker is like, get out of the cave. It is easy, bro. There's light out here. Like, come on. You know, and we're like, yeah, I'm going to stay here and watch these shadows just a little bit longer because I'm not sure. You know, I need to understand this first. Okay. So most people thrive on auto-stimulus responses. And now in my deck, Etheric Evolution here, I talk about these stimulus responses, right? So like I put like the inhabitants of Plato's cave here. So the stimulus responses are seeing those shadows and refusing to look outside the cave. It's a refusal to just not think, okay? Not think here. So changing your inner world, your own subconscious programming will change your outer life and how things come about for you, how manifestation works for you, how you see this world. You've always known the truth, so it's time to really wake up and find it. Halt whatever is keeping you from the flowering of your life. What is the flowering of your life? That's that lotus. Bingo. Okay, and the lotus, we've talked Kundalini, we've talked lotus, all of this, right? That's the flowering of your life. Now, let me tell you something. A lotus is an ever unfolding flower. It doesn't stop unfolding. There's always going to be new layers that are going to unfold from this flower here, okay? Halt whatever is keeping you from the flowering of your life. Identification with your ego mind is a sickness, and samadhi is the cure. Okay, so moving forward here. Now, what is samadhi exactly? Well, you can't really explain it here. It's a Sanskrit term. However, and there really is no set definition. Everybody's going to have a little altered definition, but for me, it's a transcendent union of realizing oneness within us all. Okay, it's a nirvana. It's stillness and an emptiness that allows you to be filled and happy and prosperous and just go with the flow. It's a state of being and knowing that you have to be nothing more. Okay, only your ego tells you anymore. It's a reconnection of oneness in which nothing but everything exists. All is one. It's a unity of your God within yourself. Okay, sorry guys. Hiccup. That really hurt. It was like a hiccup / like slight burp thing. Did not like that. It's a supreme state of universal oneness. It's one soul and it's the center within each of us. Okay? Samadhi has no polarities. Wisdom is knowing I am nothing. Love is knowing I am everything. And in between the two, life moves. All right? So let me say that one more time. Wisdom is knowing I am nothing. Love is knowing I am everything. In between these two, in unity, everything moves. Everything flows. There's no resistance, okay? So the divine union that we talk about here between twin flames. Now we're going to incorporate twin flames into awakening, okay? So we're going to get fun here. But that divine union is that feminine and masculine energy here that brings forth the unity. It's the Shiva and Shakti energy. Okay, so for those of you guys that do not know, Shakti is what I named my cat, you know? So it's that feminine energy. It's a spiral inward, hence that spiral, and why I use it so often here on my Facebook or within my posts, because everything is about this inward spiral here. At the center of this spiral is stillness. It's like the eye of a storm, an emptiness, a nirvana at which we can observe without judgment, for we are the storm too. Okay, and when you're in the center point of the storm, are you being impacted by the storm? You're not. So it's like you're not being affected by the outer circumstances because you know you can't control any of it. So when you sit at the inner storm, at your 0 point field of energy, you are able to observe without judgment, and you're able to realize that this is your storm. Your storm. Yeah, and there's no reason to try and control it. It's going to move in which ways it needs to move here. There are no enlightened people, only enlightened activity. I actually wrote that down. So your ego wants to tell you, you're so enlightened, you're so woke, you're so good at this and that. And really the truth is you're not. Okay? You can have enlightened activity. You can definitely have a lot of ancestral knowledge, attainment. You can be a channeler, you can be a healer, you can be a shaman, you can be this. And if you ask any of those people, they will let you know that they're not enlightened either. Okay, so it's really important to understand that here. And don't be like, oh, I want to attain this. Like, there's nothing to attain. If you think that you're trying to attain something, it's already within you. It's just more so about coming into your true self and really accepting your true self here, okay? So nirvana is a place at which you can observe without judgment, right? But there are paths that can lead us to this gateless gate. Now, through the Kundalini awakening, these golden serpents, lost golden serpents, guard this gateless gate I talked about earlier, kind of just reiterating that and pulling that back into the now so we can talk about how to get there. So this gateless gate is actually samadhi, okay? It's the path in which our identification with our own structures come to an end, come to a complete halt. They completely dismantle themselves and they no longer exist. We are not our flesh suits. You are an infinite, multidimensional being here. And the purpose of you reincarnating here on Gaia is, one, to help others raise consciousness. But for many of you, it's because you keep repeating cycles and lifetimes, cycles and lifetimes, cycles and lifetimes of karma. We come here to pretty much like repent for karma, for past lifetimes, things of that sort, okay? So that's why we have to reawaken every single time. Now, what the Pleiadians and things of that sort are doing here is we're coming to help Gaia raise her consciousness, and we're lifting that veil here, okay? So that veil's no longer going to be there. There won't be any forgetfulness, essentially. But that will be a long time away. Like, just forget I ever said that here. I'm kind of getting way into and sharing things that a lot of people should be able to find out themselves here through their own, meditation, things of that sort. Anyways, what did I write? Samadhi is the key to the gateless gate. Okay, and that key is where? It's in your Kundalini awakening. So it's about realizing during this awakening that you're going through that everything is a mirror. Okay, your physical body, it's a mirror. You could be a fucking kitten and see yourself as a lion. Or you could be a lion and see yourself as a kitten. That's just the illusion. That's your mask trying to, pull you away from what really is. Your thoughts and your perceptions, those are all going to be mirrored to you, okay? It's prana, which is energy. For those of you guys that are unaware what prana is, it is energy. Energy is all around you. What energy you exert outwards, it's always going to be magnetized back to you. It's always going to be mirrored back to you. Your higher mind is more so like a state of dual bliss, but that's still not samadhi. It's still not. It's just a higher knowing. It's a knowing that you are connected and that you have this connection here, okay? A change on one level will impact all the levels. And that's why it's important to watch your foods that you eat. Eat more fruits and vegetables, okay? If you're going to eat meats, try to eat organic meats. I cannot stress this enough, and I've said this for like a year now, but Think about the meat that you walk into Walmart and you buy. That meat was slaughtered. Okay, yes, all meat is slaughtered. I get it. That was not the best example. But that meat is abused, okay? It's depressed. It grew up in a fucking stable and it couldn't move around in between these little bars. And it's abused. It's depressed. So all of those hormones have absorbed in that meat that you're eating. I'm not telling you to become vegan. I'm just asking you guys to be very aware. Raise your own food. Raise your own meats. You know, grow your own garden. Things of that sort. That's why even, you know, in America, we're going to say I'm in America for those that don't know. So in America here, you know, we've at least adapted or adopted this concept of praying over our food. And that's because words of affirmation are really going to help here. So, I mean, at the least you could do is pray over your food and give it words of affirmation. Thank you for the nutrients that are going to enter my body. I'm not saying that you need to get on your knees and pray and thank Jesus, because Jesus is Palladian. Jesus comes from the same place I came from. Like, he's no special. Buddha's no special. None of them are. They are just people that came here to show the path of love. Show you guys how to take your own path to samadhi. Okay, so let's see. We are almost done here. The mirrors are infinite reality, and because we are all co-creators here, it's like, have you ever walked into like one of those mirror houses, those fun houses? That's basically what it is, and everybody's projecting what they're seeing, what they're feeling, things of that sort, and that's what creates that cloud, that storm cloud that I talk about here, right? And that's why it's so important to not see yourself as a storm cloud, but to center yourself in that 0 point field of energy. You are always dreaming. That dreamer is you. Okay, and when you're asleep, you're awake, and when you're awake, you're asleep. And so a lot of times, a lot of our knowledge and wisdom actually comes from when we are sleeping. That's why it's so important for us to sleep as humans, because we access these different dimensions, these different realms. We access things called the Akashic records. And for those of you guys that are unaware, you think it's like one just big, it's a huge fucking library. You're not wrong. But there's a different Akashic library in each dimension. Okay, and you have to have certain light codes to access certain dimensions. That's why a lot of people tell me they like dream of me, things of that sort, because I help them access these different dimensions that they don't have light codes to. Not everybody has light codes or the ability, because you have to attain certain levels of samadhi. You have to ascend, okay? Not attain. It's nothing to attain. It's ascending the Maya self, the illusion of the self. But let's see. The mirrors don't actually reflect you at all. They don't reflect you at all. They reflect what your eyes see. They reflect your thoughts. But they don't, where are you? So if you were to think about you sitting right now, there's no mirror in front of you. Okay, the mirror is what you project outwards. Where are you? What do you look like? What do you look like? Tell me what you're doing, what you look like right now. You're not going to see yourself. Okay, you can visualize yourself, but that's just all it is. It's just a mirror here. You don't really truly exist, essentially, okay? You are technically this womb of infinite potential, and you are not the mirror. The mirror does not show you, so you cannot possibly identify with it. You can't. And I know that's hard to understand, but you just cannot possibly identify with this. Stripping away all that is not permanent is what we are meant to do, okay? Everything will become transparent to you. And that's when a lot of people start tapping into these psychic abilities, these channeling abilities, these healing abilities, things of that sort, because everything becomes transparent. You can see straight through people. You can see straight through situations, and you're like, yeah, that's not me. You know, do you ever sit there and let's just say you just got done eating even, and then all of a sudden you get this weird craving for a fucking hamburger? That is because the person next to you is craving a damn hamburger. So it's not really you. It's about understanding and reflecting and processing what is you and what is not you. And choosing not to identify with things that are not you. You don't even identify with your own self. So how can you identify with another person? You know? So it's just, when you realize that you don't know who you are is when you begin to awaken. That's how you know that you're on the right path to awakening. All right. So important things to take from this and what I taught today about samadhi and how to ascend to samadhi is to know that it's already within you. And you're unlocking it through this awakening. And you're unlocking it by unlocking your chakra system, okay? Some teach 7 chakras. I personally know that I was born with 22. But I also know that not everybody's born with 22. And then I want to make further videos here. I want to talk about crystal children because I've got a lot of knowledge to share with you guys. I've done so much channeling, so much everything lately, and I'm just really excited, like revived, okay, about life here. So things can get kind of weird on my channel, but I really appreciate all of you that love me for me. Please like and share this video. It would be very, very helpful. Wish you guys all happy ascension. Do not be afraid of your fears. Really dismantle this Maya self, all right? You are not what you see. I promise you, this is a matrix, and you're going to be so much happier in life when you realize that you can drop the mask and that everything that you're looking for is already within you. And that's that, everybody uses that stupid quote, what you're looking for is within you. It fucking really is. It's within your kundalini. It's in your DNA system. Thoth put it and hid it within your bodies. You want to look at it from a Christian perspective, let's go for it. God says you are created in my vision, right? In the Bible, well, it's because you have the God within you. You have the God within you. Do you think that we all look like that motherfucker? No. All right? We don't. So it's important to recognize that. And it's important to understand how powerful, how beautiful, how infinite, how multi-dimensional you are. And when you're having a bad day, remember that the matrix is not real. I want you to meditate, ground your energies, connect with nature, eat healthier, change your diet, change up your routine, stop pushing the boulder up the hill. All right? You're not Sisyphus, and you're not in Plato's cave. So recognize that this cave, our mind, is a lie. Go outside and see the light. All right? I love you guys. I'll see you guys later today for more videos. Bye.